Hi, this is Ramesh Reddy, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Viswadaya Technical Academy. Today I would like to discuss need for normalization. So here the data can be combined from multiple tables. The data may be repeated, that means data appears in multiple places, that causes data redundancy. If the data can be repeated, automatically it can increase the size of the storage and automatically it degrades the performance. And the next one is anomalies. Anomalies is nothing but difficulties. Because of this data redundancy, there are some anomalies. Those are delete anomalies, insert anomalies, and update anomalies. Let us see one by one. Delete anomalies. For example, we have a table called as EMP and department table, means employee department table. So this table has complete employee details as well as department details. Suppose I want to delete a row which is related to an employee, that is automatically deleted the department also. But here my intention is I want to delete the employee only, but cannot delete the department. Because of this redundancy, the data can be deleted by including the department also. And the next one is insert anomalies. Here I need to insert a department in this employee department table. So without having these students or employees, this department cannot be created. That is the problem in insert. And the next one is update anomalies. So the data will be scattered in multiple places. If you want to update the data cannot be updated entirely. Somewhere it can be updated, the remaining can be stored the old value. So here we can take an example that is called as a report format. So this is a table here. It can have the project details as well as employee details. The project details like project number and project name, and the employee details like employee number, employee name, job class, charges per hour and hours. So by combining these two tables, that means project and employee, some of the data may be repeated. So here we find the project number is repeated, whereas the project name is also repeated, somewhere job class is repeated. So we can apply the normalization for reducing this redundancy. So let us one thing here. Always we can minimize the redundancy, but we cannot remove the redundancy. Let us see one by one. The first, second, third normal forms applied on this report format relation, and see how these can be decomposed into tables. The first one is conversion to first normal form. The first normal form always says that the values of each attribute should be atomic and identify the primary key. So here atomic means the value which is not divisible. For example, salary. An employee is getting 5,000. This is not divisible. So this type of data can be stored on this table. That is the normal form, and we can identify the primary key in this table. Let us go for the table. The project number is not sufficient to form a primary key. Project name is also not sufficient to form a primary key, because the project, using project name we cannot identify a row uniquely, because there are different projects may be repeated. Similar way, any attribute are sufficient to form a primary key. That means any single attribute cannot identify any row uniquely. So that's why we can go for combination of attributes. So let us see here, project number and employee number. So by combining these two, we get any row uniquely. Let us see here, project number 15 and employee number 101. His name is Srijan and job class is project leader, whereas the charges per hour is 1000 and hours 23. So, and the next one, project number 15 and the employee number is 102. So there is a uniqueness in these rows. So that's why. So here we conclude that the project number and the employee number is a primary key. So by adding these two attributes, this primary key is called as a composite primary key. By using this composite primary key, we can identify entire rows in this table. So now the first normal form is fulfilled, because the table have atomic values and we identified the primary key. And the project number plus employee number is a composite primary key which can identify the remaining attributes. So and here we need to identify different dependencies in the report format table. So the one is the project number determines project name, and the employee number determines employee name, job class, charges per hour, and the project number plus employee number determines hours. So these are the dependencies to find out, but after completion of first normal form, the table itself same, but we identify the primary key, and is there any atomic values, those can be separated, but here there is no divisible values, all are atomic values. And the next one is second normal form. If you want to apply the second normal form for the given relation, so first the table should be in first normal form and no partial dependencies. So here what is meant by a partial dependency? A part of key determines any attribute is called as partial dependency. Part of key means here we define the primary key by using two attributes. So any one of the attribute is called as a part of key. So that can identify any row, any column, that is called as a partial dependency. So one thing we need to note down here. So if we can create a primary key on more than one attribute, then only the partial dependencies exist. So let's find these partial dependencies in this report format table. So project number is a part of key which determines project name, and employee number is a part of key which determines employee name, job class, and charges per hour. These two are partial dependents identified. Those can be defined as a separate table like a project table and employee table. And project number plus employee number determines hours. This is also one more table. After applying the second normal form, we get the project report format table can be divided into three subtables, that is a project table, employee table, and assignment table. Let us see these tables here. The first one is project table. In this we have project number and project name. So the project number is a primary key here, and the next one is the employee table, and this employee number, employee name, job class, and charges per hour, these are the attributes in employee table. Here employee number is a key attribute, and one more thing is assignment. So here assignment means how many hours assigned to each employee for each project, that is called as assignment. And here project number plus employee number is the primary key. By using this we can identify the hours. So this is the three tables are decomposed from the report format table by applying second normal form. And the next one is third normal form. So if you want to apply the third normal form for a table, first the table should be in second normal form and no transitive dependencies. Let us see what is transitive dependencies. A transitive dependency means a non-prime attribute determines another non-prime attribute. Non-prime is nothing but non-key attribute. A non-key attribute determines another non-key attribute, that is called as a transitive dependency. Let us see here. We have a job class and charges per hour. Here job class determines charges per hour. That means the software engineer, the charges per hour is like this. The senior software engineer, the charges per hour is like this. Whereas a project leader, the charges per hour is like this. That's why the job class determines the charges per hour. So these two attributes can be removed from employee table and define a new table called as job table. After third normal form, the tables are shown here. The first one is project, already defined previously, project number, project name, and the employee number, employee name, job class. And the next one is job. Here we have job class and charges per hour. And finally assignment. In assignment we have the project number plus employee number plus hours. So here after completion of third normal form, so we have separated job class and charges per hour into a separate table called as job. But in employee table we have added this job class because whenever you want to relate this employee and job, we need a common column. That's why we define this job class column should be remains in the employee table. In this employee table, job class behaves like a foreign key, and in job table the job class defined as a primary key. So these are the four relations can be decomposed from the report format table by applying first, second, third normal forms. So thank you very much.